you're going to be a part of the Bay Area Dragons, who will be joining the Philippine Basketball Association Governors Cup coming up soon here, and then the East Asia Super League. You're going to guard Teds. What are you going to do?
Right here, man. Right here, I'm ready. I want to watch this game. I'll do my scouting.
Yeah. Filipino fans, the PBA fans watching right now, what can they expect from Mr. Glen Yang? Episode of YYC Athletes with me, your host, Zeke. Today, we're fortunate to have one of Calgary's elite players. He has played locally and internationally. In high school, he played for the Sir Winston Churchill High School, and then he moved on to the Mount Royal University Cougars. After his playing years with MRU, he moved to Spain, and then he moved to Hong Kong, and soon, he will be playing the Philippines for the Bay Area Dragons in the PBA and the East Asia Super League. Ladies and gentlemen, let's all welcome Mr. Glen Yang.
How you doing? Good introduction.
Thanks, Glen.
Did your research?
Of course, you gotta do that.
Did your research.
Glen, welcome to YYC Athletes. How are you feeling right now?
I'm good. Thanks for having me. You didn't see on the camera, you made me a nice coffee before this. So.
Of course. We gotta
good.
take care of our guests here.
100%. No, good to be here.
So everyone, we're gonna get to know Glen today. We're gonna get to know his basketball story and a few things outside basketball that his hobbies, his other interests. So, Glen, let's get right to it.
Let's do it.
So first question, Glen, where did your basketball story start?
So. Honestly, it's a little surprising sometimes that I did choose basketball because no one in my family plays basketball, which is a little unusual. So before basketball, I was actually a big video game nerd.
Okay.
I was playing Warcraft and Counter-Strike, all those games. Dota, all that stuff when I was 7, 8, 9.
Yeah.
So I was close to going down a different route. And
the esports, right?
Exactly, the virtual. And then when I was age 10. My mom found a really good coach who still is one of my mentors, trainers today.
Okay.
His name is Lap Fong, Chinese Hong Kong guy. And I just fell in love with the game. It was completely U-turned, I slimmed down. The chub went away.
From the video game body to the basketball,
had to adjust.
The athlete body.
Yeah.
And so was that here in Calgary? Or
no, that was in Hong Kong. I was living in Hong Kong then. From we mentioned earlier, from age 5 to 15.
Yeah.
I was in Hong Kong, so that was in the humid outdoor courts of Hong Kong. So that's where it began. Yeah.
So that's nice.
Yeah.
So Hong Kong style of basketball is how you got started. How was that for you when you were a kid? The Hong Kong style of basketball.
I mean, it's very different from here in the U.S. Obviously, the size and athleticism was not as large or present. So, at the early ages, it's all good. Like everyone's kind of the same level. But I would come back home every summer, and I would see the kids getting bigger and jumping higher, and I was like, okay, I gotta work harder to keep up with these kids over here. So eventually I felt like I needed a little more challenge, when I got older.
Yeah. Were you already watching NBA games back then?
Oh my God. Obsessed.
Who was your favorite player growing up?
Steve Nash.
Steve Nash.
Kobe, Steve Nash, and then D Rose.
Okay, so let's start with Steve Nash, 2-time NBA MVP.
Oh yeah.
Great passer, great shooter.
Yes.
One of the legends in the NBA. A Canadian. How
legend.
did you fall in love with this game?
I mean, obviously Steve Nash wasn't the most athletic player. and I was kind of a late bloomer. I got taller and more athletic the older I got.
Yeah.
So when I was younger, I was a point guard. Couldn't jump that high, so I had to work on my skills, right? So watching him in the NBA, little Steve go up
behind the back,
man, no look, like shooting threes and floaters. I'm like, yo, this is my guy.
Yeah.
Plus he's Canadian.
Yeah.
So all these connections, I just loved his game, the flash, unselfishness. So that was Steve, and then I think every kid at that time loves Kobe, man. So those are
late Kobe Bryant.
R.I.P. R.I.P. But those were the two guys for sure.
You also mentioned Derrick Rose.
Yeah.
Who is comparing Derrick Rose to Steve Nash, complete opposite.
Couldn't be more different.
Right?
Couldn't be more different.
What part of D Rose's game did you follow when you were growing
just
up?
the dominance, I think. His MVP year, like,
the youngest MVP in history.
Just the way he moved. Yeah, youngest MVP. Yeah. His athleticism, power, like, you couldn't stop him. And he wasn't scared at all. Like,
not at all.
Rookie year, going up against Boston in the playoffs, taking them to 7. Like,
took them to school too.
Took them to school, man. A wide cross. Like, I like the wide crossover. So he had that. Had the jersey, the shoes. So
nice. Yeah. So that was when you were still in Hong Kong.
Yeah.
And how did you come back here in Canada or Calgary?
So like I said, I was coming back every summer.
Okay.
Playing in camps, playing in tournaments. I'm sure my mom and dad were not always so happy about that. Like, we're supposed to go on vacation, and like I'm like, no, I need to play basketball.
Yeah.
But
you're that kid, mom.
I'm bringing my ball everywhere. I'm like, yo, what's wrong with that kid? But I was like itching for more.
Okay.
And then I had some connections here, coaches, whatever, players, and my mom's family is from Calgary, obviously.
Okay.
So we decided it fit if I came back here.
So the move was for your basketball.
Mainly for my basketball career, and then also so my mom could be closer to her family.
Good to have very supportive parents.
Exactly. Very lucky, It could have gone the other way.
So you moved back to Calgary to play more basketball. Looking for some more competition, I guess.
More competition, and hopefully play in front of some coaches.
Yeah. And then you ended up playing for the Sir Winston Churchill High School.
I did.
How was that playing experience from Hong Kong to Sir Winston Churchill? Did it meet your expectations?
I think, 100%. Like, for those who don't know, Churchill is a historical program.
A powerhouse team.
A lot of D1, professional, youth sport players have come out of there.
Yeah.
We had a serious coach Mike Fullerton, who took it very seriously. So it was a transition at first. We had talented guys on the team, Matthew Ginto, Adonis, Darian, Emmett Cook, all these guys. So it took a while to adapt. My grade 11 year, I think, and then grade 12 I settled in for sure.
What was the biggest difference between Hong Kong and Calgary style of basketball? Because you said you had to adjust. What were those adjustments?
I think the biggest thing, like I mentioned earlier, was the athleticism and size, and also the mentality. I don't know, in Asia, especially back then, like the competitive aspect isn't exactly the same level.
Yeah.
Guys here, it was like life or death, which I loved. Yeah. But I had to get used to being myself within that environment,
Yeah. So
Grade
11 was that adjustment period. Yeah. Grade 12,
Grade 12, I settled in. Plus, you're grade 12, you think you're the big dog. So the team is kind of, you're one of the main guys, so I was a lot more comfortable, for sure.
Where did the team end up in your senior year?
In senior year? Yeah. We didn't do as well as we should have, for sure, with the talent on our team. We were definitely...
Yeah, you said Matthew Ginto, yourself.
Adonis, Darian. These guys, all of us went U Sport. So we were definitely one of the most talented teams, but we lacked size and a couple other things. So we lost in the first round.
Well, that's okay.
But
that's part of basketball.
Exactly, it's part of growth. You know? You learn from it.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And then in college, you went to MRU, right?
Went to MRU.
How did that come about? Were there other schools that wanted you to be a part of their program, or you were just dead set on MRU?
No, I really wasn't dead set on MRU. You know, I was actually really close to going to prep school in the U.S.
Okay.
I had some offers from other schools. UFC offered me a red shirt. And yes, but I was leaning towards the prep school option, get some more exposure.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of kids' dreams to go D1, right? You're like,
of course.
D1 or bust, right? But MRU was Coach Dobell was very adamant about, you know, telling me how much they wanted me. The assistant coaches were always talking to me, bringing me out. So I felt the love and the need, right? Whereas these other schools and programs, I was always
reaching out. You were wanted.
Exactly.
By MRU.
Exactly, yeah. And I saw opportunities. They had a lot of older players who were going to graduate soon. And, you know, my mom and my high school coach, we just sat down and we're like, this is a good move for you, I think. Yeah. You know?
And so from Hong Kong basketball to high school basketball in Calgary, you moved up again to the U Sports level here in Canada.
Yeah.
How was that jump from high school basketball to university basketball?
It was definitely the biggest jump, probably. I think kids don't realize how big of a gap there is between high school and U Sport, because there's all these levels in between. But you're playing against men, you know? So like my first year there, I was the youngest on the team, 17, 18 years old. There's 24-year-old, 25-year-old guys, right, from all over the place.
Mature guys.
Big guys, you know, like eating, you know, they're eating well.
They've been to the gym more than
you. They're living downtown, they're eating full course meals, and I'm like still eating cereal and stuff, so you know, you're getting pushed around, but I think that's what you need at that age. So you need adversity. Yeah. So my first year there was a lot of that. I barely played. Only dressed like 3-4 games. Okay. But that was, I think I needed that for sure.
Of course, that motivated you to work harder,
better,
right?
Yeah, experience.
By your senior year, I was looking at your stats earlier. You averaged 16.5 points.
Yeah.
You were shooting 36.9% from the 3-point area. Yeah. I've seen some clips. Yeah. You were the dog in that team by your senior year. Yeah. How did you feel that senior year? Like looking back from your days in Hong Kong, moving to Canada, to Calgary for your high school, and then senior year. It looked like you found yourself.
100%, yeah, 100%. Obviously, there were, looking back now, you know, being a perfectionist type of mind, you're like, oh, I could have done this better, could have done that better. Yeah. But I think overall, like, it was kind of the culmination of like all those years. I felt comfortable. I felt like the leader of the team. We had at that point the best year of the program so far. Like we made playoffs. Yeah. All that. So it felt good, man. It felt good to finally see the results, I think. Yeah.
All those years of hard work.
Yeah, all the humid outdoor courts. You know? So some people don't know, but I was going in the summers during MRU. I was going to Hong Kong and playing in the pro league there in the summer.
What's the pro league?
The Hong Kong Basketball Association. Okay. So they run from March, April to August every year.
Sorry. You're playing for MRU. Yeah. But during the off-season year, you're still going to Hong Kong playing against the big boys of the Hong Kong Basketball Association. Yes. How did that help you?
A lot, in many ways, on and off the court. But experience-wise, I felt like a lot more confident coming back every year here, knowing that I played at that level. And I was training a lot there with, you know, high-level guys, so... there's a lot of basketball, but I loved it. I loved it for sure.
Live and breathe basketball.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah, and it was fun too. So.
Yeah. Well, if you want to reach a certain level, you really have to work hard for it, right?
For sure.
Like for you, that hard work was during the off season, going back to Hong Kong, playing against the big boys in the Hong Kong Basketball Association, and look at you, senior year.
Yeah, kind of
leader of the team.
Yeah. We could. I think we should have went further, but.
Well, playoffs, still good, right?
Yeah,
Was that the best finish for MRU at that time?
Yeah. Because they had only been in U Sport like 9 or 10 years.
Mm-hmm.
And we never made the playoffs. Every year, we lost to the tiebreaker to make playoffs until that year. Yeah, but we didn't win a game. But then the next this year, they won their first game. So slowly building.
Slowly building.
Yeah, man.
After that senior year, there was a decision time, of course. Continue playing here in Canada. If you have offers outside Canada, of course you're gonna look at it. But in your mind, what was your plan after your senior year with MRU?
Yeah. So I knew I wanted to play professional. Kind of always had that goal. But luckily, like, I had been playing in the summer, so when I finished at MRU, I pretty much graduated. Like, I did my exams, and then went straight back to play in Hong Kong. Yeah. Like a month later. So I didn't really have time to think. But luckily, our assistant coach at MRU at the time was a Spanish guy. Named Ivan. And we were really tight and close, so he helped me connect me with some teams in Spain.
What's the team's name?
So the first team I played for was called KFC.
KFC.
Culeredo.
Okay.
Our sponsor was KFC.
KFC, the fast food
chicken,
chain?
Yeah. We never got any KFC. So.
Come on, KFC, you gotta do better than that. You sponsor a team.
The Colonel, man, he didn't pick it up. But yeah, that was the first team.
But how was that experience for you? Playing internationally? Of course, again, another jump, I would suppose.
Yeah.
It's university, new sports, Hong Kong, and then Spain.
Yeah.
We know that Spain is one of those basketball powerhouses in the world.
For sure.
They have one of the best national teams in the world,
every
right?
year, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, they take
Paul Gasol.
Oh yeah, Ricky Rubio. Yeah, all those guys.
Rudy Fernandez, right?
Yeah, hoopers.
And so, how was that?
The guy from Hustle, have you seen Hustle?
Yeah. Juancho Hernandez.
They got him, yeah.
And so, playing in Spain, how did you fit in terms of the basketball scene there?
Well, like you said, it was kind of an adjustment again. They play very tactically and team basketball.
European style of basketball.
Yes.
Which is more pass.
A lot of movement. 1 or 2 seconds to decide. You don't have a lot of time to operate.
Off-ball screens.
Everything.
A lot of screens.
A lot of screens. And obviously, like, the language barrier, all that plays in. They're yelling at puta madre. Sorry.
That's okay.
You can blank that out, but like, they were chanting Chino to me at the games.
No way.
Yeah.
No way.
But it was all fun, man. I think, slowly adapted and then ended up having a great time.
What was your biggest takeaway playing in Spain?
Biggest takeaway?
Yeah.
You have to be patient. You have to be patient when you're in a new situation.
Yeah.
'Cause you're not
new environment.
Yeah. You want to just culture. You want to be, there every game, and also you want that certain lifestyle, but you gotta get there first.
Yeah.
So,
you gotta work hard.
Yeah. So probably the patience thing.
How many years did you play in Spain?
So I did 2 stints in Spain. The first one was like 5 months, and then COVID happened.
Yeah, okay. So that was just in 2019, 2020 then?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because I graduated 2019.
Yeah.
And then the second one was end of 2020.
Okay.
So probably around a year total.
After Spain, what did you do?
So after Spain...
COVID happened, right?
So COVID happened, my first stint in Spain. Came back here for the summer of 2020. Everything was kind of dead. And then went back there. And then the team in Hong Kong that I had been playing for called me back.
What's the team's name?
It's called SCAA, South China Athletic Association.
Okay.
Yeah, so that coach, great coach over there, Bosnia national team coach, Minster, he called me back. So I was there 2021, all of 2021, basically.
Stint in Spain, you went back to Hong Kong. Was there a change in your game when you were playing in Hong Kong?
Yeah.
Would you say that you were more confident? Were you more of a leader back then after that stint in Spain?
I'd say the game slowed down a lot.
Okay.
The game slowed down a lot.
Okay.
The reads, I wasn't as much of a rush.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, the patience part of it in the game over there.
Mm-hmm.
You have to be calm. You have to, think tactically.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that part helped a lot.
Everywhere you go, just keep on learning, you keep on improving.
You gotta be a sponge, right? Like pick up all these little things, Yeah, try your best.
Soon or recently, it was announced that you're gonna be a part of the Bay Area Dragons, who will be joining the Philippine Basketball Association Governors Cup coming up soon here, and then the East Asia Super League.
Super League, yeah.
Right? Two big leagues.
Yeah.
Where you will be playing
Excited.
coming soon. How do you feel about it? How are you preparing for those leagues?
Yeah. First off, asking people like you how Manila is gonna be.
It's gonna be hot.
Yeah. Ready for that. Get the halo ready. No, man, it's a great opportunity, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
Like, kind of an opportunity that I've been waiting for a long time. And, because especially with the East Asia Super League stuff, you're playing against the best in Asia.
Yes. So for those who don't know, East Asia Super League, it's gonna be composed of 8 teams, all champions from their respective regional leagues that they're playing at. For example, the KBL in Korea, the B League in Japan, the PBA in the Philippines, and the Greater China, P League Taiwan, and the Greater China, right?
Yeah.
And so, best of the best players in Asia. We've got some reinforcements from all over the world playing there. Where do you see yourself in that scenario?
Good question. That's why I'm excited to go. You always see all these teams from afar.
Yeah.
Especially with social media.
Yeah.
Some big names over there. So I think it's going to be a great test just to go up against these guys and see how we do.
Yeah.
And then even in the PBA, like you were mentioning earlier, like, the Terrence Romeos, all those guys, you also hear about them.
Yeah.
So, you can't hide.
I know.
You can run, but you can't hide, right? So you gotta, let's see how it goes.
One scenario here. You're playing for the Bay Area Dragons. You're going to be playing in the PBA. First game of the season, San Miguel Beermen. We all know Terrence Romeo is there. Coach puts you in. Glenn. By the way, Bay Area Dragons will be coached by the current head coach of the Australian national team,
Brian Goorjian. Yeah.
Brian Goorjian. So you're in good hands. But let's say he gets you into the starting lineup and asks you, Glenn, you're gonna guard Terrence. What are you gonna do?
Right here, man. Right here, I'm ready. I watch his game. I'll do my scouting.
Yeah.
I know he likes his wide crossover.
I see the scouting happening already.
He's got a good handle, right?
Yeah.
So obviously it'll be a tough matchup, but
yeah.
When you're on the court, I feel like all that stuff disappears.
The ball is round.
Exactly, right? We all tie our shoes the same way. So you go out there and compete, man.
Well, not only Terrence Romeo, though. You also have Stanley Pringle.
For sure, yeah.
Mikey Williams.
Yep. All
then
these guys.
San Miguel, they're gonna ask Chris Ross to guard you, for example. How are you gonna get away from Chris Ross?
Oh, man. Hopefully get him in the post or something. We'll see, man. I think I'll just play my game and hopefully all my preparation can pay off,
Speaking of your preparation, what have you been doing to prepare for that?
Yeah, so I feel like I've had a really good off season. There's amazing trainers here in Calgary now, amazing facilities too. When I was growing up here, none of this was here.
Yeah.
All these gyms, Prolific, the Sportplex, all these trainers.
Yeah.
They're here now. They're accessible. I have relationships with them. So Athletic Edge and my friend Adonis, I've been training a lot. And I just got back. I was in the States with the guy I mentioned earlier, the first coach. So we did Lap Fong, yeah, in there too. So I feel good about that.
That's good. You also played for a Filipino league, right? Back in May.
Yeah.
That's where I first saw Glenn play.
Yeah.
He was playing for the Understatement team. They went all the way to the semifinals.
Yeah,
right?
Unfortunately,
they lost to Vancouver Top Flight Sports.
Yeah.
Jerick Palma of Top Flight Sports just took over that game. But yeah, no. I see this new face playing for Understatement, and he was just balling. Playing that league kind of gives you a feel for the Filipino style of play,
Yeah.
which you'll be playing the PBA soon here. How was your experience playing in the May Long weekend that was organized by the Calgary D League, by the way?
Yeah. No, I mean, I love playing in those tournaments, and like even a few years ago, I was playing in the I think MFBL.
MFBL.
Yeah, the league. So the Filipino league. I love the style of play. It's fast paced. Everyone can handle the ball.
Yeah.
I do end up being one of the bigger guys in these tournaments.
Yeah.
So
You're 6'4".
Yeah.
Right?
So I kind of end up playing like a mid-post, small forward type of role.
Yeah, but your natural role...
I'm a point guard, shooting guard.
Point guard, shooting guard, right?
So it's good to get out the box a little bit and play. Like, it's physical too. But it's always fun, man. It's always fun.
And now you have a prelude to the Philippine Basketball Association, but it's going to be a very different ballgame once you go to the Philippines. More physical. More elbows coming at you.
I gotta wear all my protection.
But Glenn, before we end this interview, what should we have a lot of Filipino fans watching our channel. Shout out to all the Pinoy fans. Thank you a lot. Thank you very much for your support to YYC Athletes. To the Filipino fans, the PBA fans watching right now, what can they expect from Mr. Glen Yang?
I think just expect, a level of high energy, passion for the game, and competitive drive, man. I want to go out there and with my teammates, the Bay Area Dragons, we're going to compete.
Yeah.
And this might be the only chance we all get to play in the PBA. We're a guest team, so I think we're going to soak it up and try and match that energy.
PBA, it's the first ever paid-for-play league.
Right.
In Asia.
Oh, really? Yeah, I heard that.
Yeah. And so...
Rich history over there.
Philippines, rich basketball culture. So you're going to feel that love. Halo.
Yeah, pansit, all that.
The pansit, there you go. He's Filipino, actually.
I need that food, man. I need all that.
And so, ladies and gentlemen, Glen Yang of the Bay Area Dragons, who will be playing in the Philippines this coming Governor's Cup in the PBA. And October 2022, watch out for him and the rest of the Bay Area Dragons at the Season 1 of the East Asia Super League. The best of the best East Asian teams from Japan, Taiwan, Korea, and the Philippines. Greater China will be there. And
repping YYC.
Let's cheer on our guy here, the Calgary guy, a Hong Kong guy, a Filipino guy. His girlfriend's Filipino. Right?
Well, shout out.
And so, ladies and gentlemen, Glen Yang going to the Philippines soon and playing in the PBA and East Asia Superliga. Glenn, I'd like you to get to have this opportunity to give a shout out to anyone.
Just shout out everyone that's helped me along the way. Shout out my parents, lab trainers, everyone, my friends, family, and Zeke, man. Thanks for the interview.
Thank you very much. It's my pleasure. Ladies and gentlemen, Glen Yang of the Bay Area.
Tune in, subscribe.
There you go. Thank you very much. Before we go, I'd like to give a shout out to my best bud in the Philippines, Hudson Tosan. Thank you for your support. And to everyone watching YYC Athletes, thank you very much. To give him a shout out when you see him there, when he plays in the PBA. Glenn, we wish you all the best. Thanks again for this interview.
Thank you.
This has been Zeke from YYC Athletes. Thank you for watching. Have a good one.